It's gonna be all right. Hey everybody. I am so sorry. Okay, cool. My sister is so clutch. I love her so much. So she's already back in here. What's up, Maya? How do I sound over there, brother? Do I sound good over there?
You sound great, bro. You
Okay,
sound great.
cool. I don't know what that was. Glory be to God though. We're back. My brother was about to start cooking.
Yeah,
Clearly he said he felt something in the spirit. It was for somebody. So, brother, if you could just get back into it. He said he felt something in the spirit to convey. So go ahead,
yeah,
brother.
yeah. Just real quick, I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I know you feel the shift. I know you feel the change in the environment. I know you feel the change in the world. There's lots of things that are going on around you that you may not understand, that you might need answers for, and it might even make you fearful of what's going to happen next, and cause some anxiety and cause some doubt. But what I want you to know is everything has already been worked out in your favor. Everything has already been taken care of. No matter what your situation is looking like right now, God has already called you out of that. And so what I ask, or what I implore you to do, is to get into your word, rededicate your prayer life, and really get serious about listening and hearing from the Holy Spirit about what your next moves are going to be. Because if you don't, distractions are going to take you away from the will of God. And there's so many things in this world that can distract us right now. There's so many things happening that in our personal lives, in social media, in politics. There's so many things that can take you away, that the enemy wants to just get you completely off the path. But I challenge you and I implore you to refocus yourself, recenter yourself, and pray and get in your word, and watch God move. Amen.
Yeah, I hope whoever that's for got that. Once again, guys, sorry that happened. It was from when I was just looking, it looked like we were offline for like maybe 20 seconds. Uh and I don't know if it was either my end or your end, but it was like looking crazy. Like I saw two spinning wheels on both of the screens. I was like, no,
Oh, I didn't see that.
no. Yeah, I'm in the control room though, so
Oh,
it
okay.
was I was definitely panicking for a second.
Oh,
Uh,
man.
that's
We're,
all right. This will be fun to edit out, and the bloopers will make for a good testimony at the end of the day because we're back. So
I want to
it's
hear
all
that.
good.
Oh no! Oh, I want to hear all that in the bloopers, bro. All of that.
Oh my god! I'm like I didn't cuss, thank God, but I was like,
Yeah,
what is happening? My
I feel you,
goodness.
bro. I feel you, man.
Um, but one of the things that, and I'm gonna kick right back up where we were at. So one of the things that I wanted to, I guess, discuss with you is because I've gotten different answers out of everybody during this time, but like when this happened, but like how did I guess like how did January 6th, like what happened at the Capitol, how did that impact you, if it did impact you at all?
You know, um, I was. I can't say that I was surprised. I was actually like, this is exactly what happens when when you bring a culture of hate into leadership, right? So when you bring this hate culture and this hate speech and this hate rhetoric into leadership of a nation, then you start to birth those those things that have already been just lying in the undercurrent of our nation, that have been there, that have been waiting for permission to rise up and be seen and be heard, and try to take over the Capitol. So we, for me, it was like you said before, what Malcolm X said. It was chickens coming home to roost, is what it was. It was it was the culmination of hatred, of politics, of power, of trying to remain in power, of also fear, hatred, all these ugly ingredients for this incitement at the Capitol. It was horrible, bro. It was really unsettling, and it also allowed me to see how frail our systems really are. How they have this appearance of security, but there's really no security. They have this appearance of power, but there's really no power. And so it taught me one thing, that only God has ultimate power and not man. No matter how many no matter how many systems they have in place, no matter how many fail safes they have, no matter how many laws or whatever they create on their own, only God has ultimate power and ultimate reign and so no one can contest that. So it made me lose my faith, a lot of faith in the government, a lot of faith in the systems that were in place to protect the officials that were actually having. They were having sessions in the in the Capitol at that time. So, dude, it was almost unreal. It really was.
Yeah. And I think the scary thing, what a lot of people don't realize with what happened, is that was the first time that, like, not the first time, but it was one of those times where you could not deny how ugly America is. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I don't know if you have any like grandparents that are still alive, but I have, I think, 2 living grandparents alive.
Listen, bro.
And they told me that that's how they used to keep their power, was acting up like that in the public square. You know, Christians especially, that's how they would keep their foot on their place of power, and make and instill fear into people that look like us. That because there were some people, I mean, there's some people, I was talking to a couple of my friends' parents, like their grandparents and everything. They were saying, you know, I don't think people realize how PTSD works within the Black community, because we have it. You can have it, and you grew up in the suburbs, never had a run-in with the police, but then you see what happened on January 6th, and you felt something like in your body.
Yeah, man.
That it feels almost like deja vu, but it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that for me, like, when, just like you, when it was happening, you know, admittedly enough, when it was happening, I was like, look at these crazy white folks, man. I knew this was gonna happen, yo. And then the next day, I was no good. I could not get out of bed, because I was just sitting there thinking, bro, they'll do that at the Capitol. They'll do it at McDonald's. They'll do that at, like, for me, I was like, they'll do that at a government sanctioned building. They'll do that anywhere. But I think for me, though, it was also like, it was just a reminder for me, because we didn't get a chance to talk, but, you know, one of my folds of my ministry is activism. And for me, it was like, oh, I still got work to do. I knew this was going to be like, if anybody thought that, even if we got, and I say we, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. My lines is with the lion and the lamb, not a donkey or an elephant. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for either one of that. But I think if anybody thought that all these nations' problems would be solved if we got 45 out of office, they were sadly mistaken. Because and once again, historically in the Bible, how many times have we tried to cling on to something that God said let go of? Like,
right. When are we going to learn? When are we going to learn to stop clinging on to that? Because it's not what God called us to. I mean,
not at all.
Yeah, man. Your sentiments are exactly how I feel about the entire thing. Like, it was traumatic, you know, even though it wasn't surprising, it was a traumatic experience for all of us, not just Black folks, but for regular law-abiding citizens of this country. It was just like, wait, what? And even I bet it was even polarizing for people who voted for Trump.
Oh,
you didn't see that coming, right?
Whew,
so,
boy. Did their attitudes did their attitudes change the next time we talked? It was like, hey man, oh my goodness, like,
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's unreal, bro. It really is. I look at a lot of the unrest, not just with what happened at the Capitol, but unrest period. And a lot of people really feel like if their voices aren't heard, then they're going to turn up. And that's just, I think that's human nature, right? When your voice isn't heard, you feel like, oh, I got to turn up. I got to tear something down. I got to burn something. This was a fear tactic that they used against Black folks, and now Black folks are also starting to use the same tactic when it comes to speaking, when it comes to riots, and when it comes to getting their voice heard. And so we're seeing these same instruments of war being used and being waged, that have only brought more destruction, that have only brought more death, that have only brought more confusion and more separation. So how do we rectify that? How do we change that? What is it that we should be doing? And I know it's cliche, but I try to let God fight all my battles.
Come on, sir.
I mean, I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds like, no, you should stand up. There's nothing wrong with me voicing my side, right? There's nothing wrong with me voicing my concern, but I want to align myself with someone and something that has ultimate power. Because if God is with me, then who can stand against me? If I'm in God's will, then whether I die, whether I win, whether I lose, I'm in His will, right? So I won anyway because I'm in His will. I'm not having to defend myself on my own too, because I know that I can't do anything greater than how God can do it. So I just really feel like we need to really find a way to trust and rely on God to be that defining factor in any situation, whether it be race, whether it be politics, whether it be any situation that we face on a grand scale. God has the answers, not us. We don't. We keep failing ourselves. We've been failing ourselves for centuries. When are we going to learn from ourselves that we don't have the answers, that we don't have the solutions? Not anybody that we elect, not anybody that we appoint is going to have those solutions. There's already been a savior, and his name is Jesus. And if we can follow that savior, pick up that cross and follow him, we might see some things change.
I don't think some people may not like what I have to say. Tread lightly, Casper. Okay.
No, brother, say it, brother.
I think personally, just because of what I've seen over the last 5 years, is that Christ is not missing out of the church because the church has not filed a missing persons report. Personally, because I feel like if we were really in tune to where God was calling us, or where Jesus told us to stand, we wouldn't think that our ministry is so limited that we have to take the biggest platform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need the government to make me feel secure as a disciple of Christ. You know what I'm saying? I never needed the government never made me feel secure as a human being. They're definitely not going to give me my peace in being, I'm just saying, like, as a Black man in America, I've never put my faith in something that's flawed. I'm not going to begin to do that with something that didn't come. My faith did not come from a person. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And I think when I say, like, I think like the Christ is missing out of the church, but nobody, they ain't filing no missing persons report. They're not. It's I always tell people, man, like, if we got to let Jesus sit on the throne of our hearts so he can reign within us. But if we We trying to share a seat with Christ. Like, no, that's his.
That's his.
That's his.
Come on, man.
Because that cross was ours, but he took it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why do we think we own or have? Why do we think that we're entitled to certain things like that? We're not. We were never promised Rome, not 1 second.
Never, bro. I can't say anything to follow that up because you said it all. You said it all, brother. Amen. What did Maya say? She said, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean to your own understanding in all your ways. Acknowledge him and make straight your he will make straight your paths." Amen. That is it. That is it. That is all. Slap screen.
I can't with her. She makes me so upset.
Maya, that is it. Trust in God. What did Tyler say?
You said it's when we put our faith and trust in anything other than Christ himself that we will fall and fail. Yeah, it's because essentially that's why. Okay.
Come on, Holy Ghost.
It's kind of, I mean, like, is it really that surprising that we would lose our victory like this when even the 12 lost faith and Jesus was in the back of the ship?
Yeah, and there's a lot to learn there, right? There's a lot to learn from the 12 to see all of them kind of fall, right? And Jesus knew he knew that they were going to do. He knew that they were going to do that, right? But yet and still, he still carried on. He still did what he had to do. This kind of brings me back also to like look at Noah when God flooded the earth, right? When he basically flooded the earth with his bow, his rainbow, right? And then he left that rainbow to Noah as a sign to say, hey, I'll never do this again. I'll never destroy the earth again. Because he knew we were going to act up. He knew we weren't going to do what he told us to do. So here we see Jesus coming to fulfill that whole covenant that God made with Noah, or to take on that covenant that God made with Noah and die the death that we were all supposed to die. And so here we are again. Here we are again, still kind of doing the same thing as the church, as the body, still not fully allowing God to be God. And we want to create everything else to be God, everything else to have a platform. And we want the platform, and we want the glory, and we want the accolades and the
brother.
glory and all these other things. And it's like, God is just like, when will y'all learn? When will enough be enough? So,
or better yet, when will I be enough?
There it is.
You know what I mean? Like when how many, like, was 39 stripes and 3 nails not enough? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you not satisfied with your place in heaven? And I was reading the script, brother. This is one of the most beautiful scriptures I've ever read in my life. That he's the same hands that he's crafted the galaxies with. He has your name. I think he said etched in the palm of his hand. Is that not enough? I'm gonna keep it real with you, brother. Girl, if a sister walked up to me and said, "I got your name in my hand," I'm gonna be a little freaked out. That love is unorthodox. You know what I'm saying? That's not humane. When I say that love is not humane. So when will we let this unorthodox love be enough for us? Or do we think we need more?
The thing is, we don't even understand fully, right? We can't even fathom the kind of love that he has. I mean, look at all of the things that he's done. He's literally bent himself over backwards. Literally took on the nails and literally did everything humanly and godly possible to show us how much he loves us. We fully don't understand it. We fully can't grasp it. And that goes back to show us that his ways are truly not our ways. I remember the story when Jesus had to rebuke Peter right after he told him that, you know, only the Holy Spirit could have revealed to you, right? That I am who I am. But then in that same instance, he's like, "Get thee behind me, Satan." Why did he say get behind me? Because so many of us feel like we should be leading the way.
You better talk, sir.
Leading the path. We should be telling Jesus, nah, that's not going to go down like that. It's not happening like that. No, you can't predict your own death. We got a good thing going on right here, Jesus. You just preach real good. You heal people. We make a little bit of money. We do it like so. So Jesus, let's be here. Let's have a mega ministry, Jesus, because you don't need to suffer. You don't need to die. You don't need to do any of that. You just keep doing your stuff. And what did Jesus say? Get thee behind me, Satan. Because he knew that
brother.
not only that, he looked at his disciples when he said that to Peter. He wasn't even he looked at all of them because he knew he was addressing all of their flesh, all of the stuff that we desire in the flesh. He looked at all of them and said, get thee behind me, Satan, when he was talking to Peter. And so we want to lead our own way. We want to be the masters of our own destiny. And that's why we keep falling and plummeting and failing instead of allowing him to lead us, allowing him to show us, allowing him to complete us. We keep looking for other things to complete us, to validate us, to accept us, when he has already led the way.
I think what that is it's the we want the credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we personally want to be, that's why I'm actually really careful when it comes to accepting compliments. I'm like, bro, that ain't me. I ain't do this. You know what I'm saying? There's some stuff that I've been able to say and witness to people, and I'm like, I'm really not that smart. I promise. I tell people, like, I don't got it like that. I really don't. I don't got the juice. Okay. Like, I really ain't with it like that. And, I think that's what scares me is, nowadays, is because, and it kind of goes back to, like, I don't understand why people get in this, like, whole thing with the Trinity. I think the reason why sometimes we get too caught up in being in him, because sometimes we like to say we're on the level of God. And I'm like, no. God stepped into your life. You did not step into God's life. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? And I when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, that sounds a little demonic. Like, just a tad bit. Like, we get to sit on the same clouds, but remember, so did Lucifer at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's,
and look where that led him, right?
He got suspended.
That same prideful attitude, that same prideful, I'm on the same level, treat me like a god, you know, I'm made in your image ness. That same attitude, man. It's something that God rejects. And I would go so far and say that's one of the most things that God hates is that spirit of pride. And it's really risen up so much in today's culture, and even in just the way we interact and want to be served and want to be praised and want to be followed and want to be emulated and immortalized, and we were never designed to sit there. So yes, we were made in his image, we're made in his likeness, but we are not him.
It's the remembering you are in him, but at the same time, you can be out of him too. you could
Real quick.
you could not
Real
you
quick.
could not yeah, you feel me? 0 to 100 real quick. Like,
Real
oh
fast,
my,
bro. Yeah, man.
oh man.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
And that's just humility. That's humility, but it's also just a reminder that, hey, I still need you, God. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You said you have kids. I assumed when they started riding their bikes, you know, you weren't that far behind. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just get up on that bike. They didn't just get up on that bike and was like just started. You know what I'm saying? They were like, they kept, hey, you still back there?
Are you still there? Right. You still there?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's that when you're a baby and you're like, you still got your, like, hey, you still, don't you lift your arms back up. I need you to Father, I need you to lean over for me, and just in case I feel myself,
bro,
like,
which is also the reason why he wants us to still be childlike when we enter the kingdom, right? We can't enter the kingdom unless we're childlike. What does that mean? That means we have to know that we don't know it all. We have to know that we don't understand it all, right? The beginning of wisdom and knowledge is the fear of God, the reverence of God. And a lot of us, we do things with no fear. We do things with no reverence. And we might as well tell him that he does not matter, if you will. So, you know, one principle that I live my life by, that I've lived my life by, is to always fully be aware of his presence, even when I don't feel like he's there, even when I'm challenged with situations, or I'm challenged with people, or I'm alone. Always be aware of his presence and reverence who he is, because ultimately I want to please God with my life. Ultimately, I want him to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And so, honestly, bro, one of the first lyrics that I've ever wrote as a CHH artist was a song called "Build Me," and the lyric was, "Use me and build me until I'm strong. Use me until I'm gone, and I will give you all of me until you bring me home." Those words are words that I live by to this day.
And I think that's I think it's just it's kind of funny. I have this. I'm a super nerd. You know what I'm saying? I take anything and know how to. I know how to apply theology to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And Black Panther, one of my favorite superheroes. You know, one of the things that I always thought was,
that's a dope mug, bro.
One of the things that it's funny. Let me drink my tea as I give this message. One of the things I think was kind of dope with the movie was how they had like the tattoo on the inside of their lip. It looked crazy, but it's funny that by your mouth they will know where you are from. You know what I'm saying? Yes, and sir. You know, when I hear some people, when I hear some people, I'm like, hey, yo,
what are they at?
we just got out of church. Like, you was just cursing every sin in like, hey, you be at Golden Corral and
yeah,
be like,
bro.
call the waitress everything but a child of God. And I'm over here like, you need to remember who you represent and don't forget.
Come on, man. What is that, right? Like, where does that happen at? And you know, unfortunately, bro, a lot of people don't take reverence to God seriously. They feel like they can kind of skirt and get by and do whatever they want to do, and then go to church on Sunday and think that it's all good. And
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't want temporary custody of us as his kids. He wants full custody, bro. He wants full legal, physical custody of us, bro. He doesn't want to share custody with us and the enemy, right? So he wants us to fully be his. But we have to make our election known. We have to fully dive into him or not. He's not going to receive us lukewarm. So I mean, it's that serious. It's that serious with him. God does not play games when it comes to serving him, right? We can't serve him and then serve another master. It's one or the other. You love one or you leave the other. Like there's no in between with him. And a lot of people feel like they can ride the fence and play God. You can't pimp, play con, or trick God. He's God.
Sir, you don't get Nate Robinson in the faith. Like if you I keep using him as a reference. He ain't never gonna hop on my podcast. But for like that's the thing though. It's like it has the perception of training. It has the perception of knowing your stances. It has that perception of being ready to put them dukes up, but then when it's time, we find out real quick what you're made of.
Yeah, man.
And when it got turned up in this country with the pandemic, with we could not have conversations anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We couldn't. We had to draw a line in the sand. She needs to stop. She said now Cass is about to slap the screen. I can't with her, yo.
I love Maya, bro.
She's amazing, man. But it's it got turned up, and they always say you'll find out the character of somebody not when things are going the way that they want it to, but when it ain't good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the trial by fire. I think that's how I'm trying to think. It's a Maverick music song. I think it is Maverick music. I think they say, "Let me be tried by fire, glorified. Let me be refined and everything." You find out how long.
Yeah. I love that song, by the way, and what you say is so real, right? You find out who someone is when the pressure of life is being applied, because when you are under extreme pressure and extreme stress, the real you shows up in the situation, not the fake you, not the representative of you, but the real true you, whoever is inside of you, that real person shows up when you're under the gun. And whatever you've been feeding yourself, whatever you've been eating is going to come out. Whatever you've been meditating on is going to manifest as the real you. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. There is no faking that. It's there. And so that's why it's so important for us to really be studied up, prayed up, if we're calling ourselves Christians and believers.
Mm-hmm. And why it's so important, I would say, now more than ever, is because we're not, I don't know what's like in your state, but like churches haven't really been open for a while. You can't really meet people as you once did. It's really awkward to be single, but that's completely besides the point for myself. I'm good. I'm good, brother. I got me, I got Jesus, I got my dog, and I got good hair. So I'm doing all right now.
You know what? A lot of people might think that that's a front, but the second thing you said, I got Jesus, bro, that is all you need right now.
Right.
That is all you need. And it's funny because it sounds cliche, but it's the actual truth.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus is all we all need. And if you have him, bro, you winning. You got everything you need.
And you know what I also noticed? Jesus will show up in people too. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like they're in the comment section. My my goodness, she over here. But you know, I think it's recognizing when it's time to let people apply in your life and when it's time to let people go. And for me, you know, though many have left, many have been added as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like I was telling you before we got started. I got this little online community group. It's an Instagram group of like maybe 13 people.
Yeah.
Man, I talk to some fools all day, every day. If I'm tripping and I
Yeah.
need correction, I'm like, Auntie Maya, I need you to snatch my baby hairs in the name of Jesus, though you live in North Carolina. Tyler,
Yo.
I need a brother in Christ to talk to, even though you 3 hours behind me and you
I
in
gotta get in this
California.
group, man. I gotta get in this group. You gotta invite me.
I gotta be. I just got big a Facebook. I made a Facebook page. They all being hard headed and haven't joined it. It's getting to the point where it's just like, all right, we about to have to duke it out and see who lasts in this this chat. Because I just found out today that only so many people are in this that could actually be in the Instagram chat, but that's completely irrelevant.
Oh yeah, that's
Right
true.
now.
Also,
But
bro, what I want to say to you is, going along your point, like God will bring people into your life for seasons, and then He'll bring people into your life for your lifetime. So don't think it's strange when you see people come and go. Don't look at it as a strange thing. Take what you learned, grow, and don't hold on to any bitterness or discord. Always make sure you when people do exit your life, make sure y'all are good. Don't hold anything. Don't make sure that if they have something, hey, listen, I don't know. I know we're on different things or different times right now. I just want to make sure we're good. I want to apologize to you if I've offended you. Make sure that thing is good, because one thing that we don't want to do as believers is leave a bad witness everywhere in every relationship that we,
whew,
because we are representing him, and you might be the only him that someone sees on this earth. So always be mindful of that.
you know what I heard when you said that was, you know how that expression, leaving a bad taste in somebody's mouth. If we are called to feed people,
Mm,
we should be the last ones to intentionally or unintentionally leave a bad taste in somebody's mouth and not try to rectify or reconcile that.
amen, brother. Amen. Amen.
That
That's a word right there.
right.
Leaving a bad taste in somebody's mouth.
I'm serious. It's like
Bro, like, whew.
yeah, because it's if you gotta think like, you know, we're supposed to feed the hungry, you
Yeah,
know, feed the homeless, cleanse the lepers and everything like that. If we ain't healing nobody, and I mean like if we're healing people the wrong way, then what
yeah.
are we doing? If we're not feeding people the right way, what are we doing?
What you doing?
And and it's bad when it comes to the public witness standpoint, because then they're gonna be a witness, and the people, they're gonna be a witness to what Jehovah is not supposed to look like to
Right,
other people. And
right.
then they're gonna be like, hey yo, I'm gonna need y'all. Don't see you over there with the do rag and the Nike suit on. He told me to go to hell and dip myself in gasoline first, but make sure I'm smoking a cigarette and put
Right.
some tar lotion on.
Yeah,
Like that, and I say that because it's like, you know, we're as humans, we're gonna mess up. As believers, we're gonna mess up. But if we walk in a posture that thinks that we are above that still, and that we can mess up and we could just say, well, God knows my heart and God knew my heart in that moment. That person that doesn't know God doesn't know anything. So I need you to go and fix that.
preach, bro.
You know what I'm
Preach,
saying?
preach. Say it again. The person that does not know God does not know
Does that doesn't know anything.
that
It's
left. So that blood is on your hands now.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
It's
So that's one thing that I would encourage you, bro. Like, as you do go through, as you do go through, man, always be mindful of the relationships and the bridges you build with people. Sometimes they don't always hold up to the integrity that it needs to. Always make sure that God, the witness of God, is held up even after the relationship, even after the interaction. That forgiveness is there, that love is still there, that no love has lost. Not fake, not phony, but hey, look, this is what it is. I know we've moved on. I know you've moved on, but I just want you to know God loves you. I love you. And if I offended you in any way, please charge it to me as a human and not to God as your creator. You know what I mean? Because we do fail. No one here is perfect. Um, Believers who claim that they're sinless. Come on now.
I realize that
it's really funny.
I think it's funny, and maybe I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way. I feel like I screw up when I say I screw up more as a Christian. Or better yet, I realize that there's more rules to being a decent human being after stepping into being saved. And I was like, wait, I wasn't doing this right? Bro. You mean I can't interact with people like this? Bro. Wait, you mean that even the thought is bad? Well, God, you ain't got me plugged up to an aux cord. They ain't hear me. You know what I'm saying? What's the issue?
Right.
But it's good though, and I say that because it's good that he telling you're doing something wrong, because it's bad when you don't hear from him. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole nother conversation right there.
And I put that on myself because I hop on 95 and I'm like, God, I love you. Yeah. I'm trying to love my brothers and sisters right now, but he said, "Well, since
I gotta put them in their place." No, bro, yeah. I completely understand. I completely feel you. And it's so easy to get into the flesh. It's so easy. I mean, and it's funny too because it's moments, it's things that happen to you when you least expect them to happen.
Right.
Worst situations, the worst predicaments, and that's when your faith is really being tested. Not when you go to church and you're listening to the word. It's when you're far away from the word, when you're far away from talking about God, when you're far away from these things and you're tested. Now, how are you going to respond? How are you going to react? What is your witness going to be?
Right.
So, yeah, man.
It's I forgot who said this. They will have flashes of your moments in dignity, but they will have burning memories of your moments of desperation.
Oof.
I heard that might have been a word spoken over me before I was even walking with God. So that just had God, that just echoed in me, just hearing that. So,
bro, that is facts. You got to send me that right there.
I got you.
I'm going to use that in a youth message right there. That's a whole message.
I got you, brother. One of the things I wanted to get into, one of the main reasons we're here today is, brother, you went through something traumatic, could have potentially been life-threatening, and you could have lost your life in this instance. I have the video. I'm gonna pull the video up real quick, and then you can like share your thoughts if you feel led to and everything like that. But I just wanted to share this to the people that are watching this today and that will watch it.
I just want to say before you play, is it the audio that you have or the video?
I have both. I got both, brother. I do my due diligence. I pinned your coffee shop in the comments. I'm on it. I'm on it. I got you.
Go ahead and play it. Let's go ahead and play it, man, so we can dialogue about it.
All right.
On the real, let's talk about racism. So my family visited the Hyatt Hotel a few weeks ago, and as of recent, we've realized that we left our second set of keys in the room. We contacted a clerk, and the clerk informed us that he would look for them. He hung up, never called us back. We called back about an hour later, let him know our situation was urgent. The clerk told me that our situation was not urgent, otherwise we would have called a few weeks ago. He ends the call, hangs up in my face. He calls us back and tells us that he found the keys. I went up to the hotel, grabbed the keys, and let him know we didn't appreciate his tone over the phone, and it was none of his concern whether or not our situation was urgent. Immediately, he got very irate, starts yelling and screaming while I'm remaining calm. He tells me that he should have handed the keys over to the police department and let me deal with them directly. Right after that, he told me that I was being threatening, and he picked up his phone and started to dial 911, weaponizing 911.
Yeah. Crazy. So after he picks the phone up, he's like, if you don't leave right now, I'm not, if you don't leave right now, I'm going to press charges. I want to make sure that you get arrested. And like, he's like yelling to the top of his lungs, bro. Like he's red. I mean, he's just inflamed, bro. And he's like yelling. And the whole time I'm like, yo, so is this, and I'm asking him like, hey, is this normal procedure? Do you normally call the police?
I'm not laughing at you, brother, but it's like, this is right? Stuff that you're like, what the hell is going on right now? Like,
like I was taken off guard because I'm like, yo, like I literally just had a complaint. Like I can't voice my concern or my complaint without being put in danger, being placed in harm's way. So when he picked up the phone, bro, I just started thinking like, I'm from Minneapolis. George Floyd was just killed on the same block that I grew up on, right? Like this ain't, you don't play with someone's life like this, right? So I'm thinking, am our kids going to lose their father today? Is my wife gonna be a widow? Like, all these things are playing through my mind. Like, it's my word against his. We were the only two people in the lobby, and he happened to work at the establishment that I'm in, trying to plead my case. So, who are the police going to come in and apprehend right away? Not him, right? So, bro, after this happened, we requested a call from the manager at the Hyatt Hotel, and the manager.
I do have the audios synced up. Whenever you want me to play them, I got you. But I got them all synced up and downloaded and everything for you. Whenever you're.
Can you play those for them so they can hear the response of the manager? Now, before you play it, I want y'all to know that the manager never got my side of the story. He never spoke to me. He only spoke to the employee. So here's the call with my wife and my wife and the manager.
I got you. All right. Can you guys see what I see? Can you see what I see, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the first recording that you sent me.
Yep.
Can you hear it? Hopefully.
I don't hear
it. It's syncing up. You know, this thing is.
Oh yeah, it's probably waiting to sync up.
Go up. Bluetooth device. We don't care about no Bluetooth device that I'm not worried about right now. My goodness. Stupid Macintosh.
Don't you love Matt?
Sometimes. I need an intern to do all this personally.
I feel you, bro.
Is it playing?
It looks like it's playing, but I don't hear
Hold on. I got it.
Okay.
Can you hear it, sir?
No.
You can't? Aw, come on, B. That's stupid. I think I might know a better way. I might just go to my email. So if you wanted to like kind of keep going,
yeah. So
it's like going into it and giving preface to it. I got you.
So basically, a bunch of our friends from our church and people we know from Facebook saw the story. I've actually put a longer version of the video up on my Facebook feed, kind of going more into detail about the story, why we left our keys. They actually called the hotel to speak to the manager before the manager called me. So the manager heard the story from maybe 2 or 3 of my friends, right?
That's right.
But he never. Like, yeah, I got friends that'll call like, "Yo, you messing with my youth pastor? What's going on?" So we never talked to the manager directly. And his tone over the phone was just it was horrible, bro. Like it was, he just didn't, you could tell he didn't care. He was defending his friend. He was defending his employee. basically kind of letting us know that we were in the wrong for calling him multiple times, that we were in the wrong for putting more pressure on him because he was the only one on staff. And bro, it was just ridiculous to get a phone call back from a manager who doesn't take any responsibility for the actions of his employees, especially when he's purposely endangering
Mm-hmm.
my life. I could understand if I was actually acting aggressively. I could understand if I was armed. I could understand if I was threatening him. I could understand even if I'm yelling at him. But what I don't understand is why does it escalate so quickly when I'm just trying to have a conversation, even though we may not agree. And I think this has something to do with culture too, because people feel like if you don't agree with them, then you're a danger to them or that you hate them, which is far from the truth. Just because
Mm-hmm.
we don't agree, that just means we don't agree. It doesn't mean that I'm a threat to you or I want to do something to you or these ultimate things that are going to happen to you because we're having a disagreement. There's nothing wrong with two adults having a disagreement as long as you remain respectful. I didn't call
Mm-hmm.
him out of his name. I didn't cuss at him. I didn't swear at
I would
him.
have been mad, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you would have, I would have.
I
I'm
could
just
have.
saying.
I could have.
Ooh,
No, bro,
sweet
I
baby Jesus.
could have. Right? I could
Mm-hmm.
have. The old me wanted to. The old me, the flesh wanted to, but I knew
Mm-hmm.
that if I did,
Yep.
then I would have to answer to that. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
we also have to recognize when the enemy is trying to get a rise out of you so he can say, see, I knew I was right about you. I knew
Mm-hmm.
you had that in you. I knew you were, but when you see what the enemy, who the enemy is and who he's using, then you don't have to give him what he wants. You don't
Facts.
feed into it. You can go the other way. And you can move out of the way and say, okay, God, I'm gonna let you deal with the enemy because you're way better at dealing with the enemy than I am. He's got way many more years of experience on the earth than I do. I've only been here for a few years. He's been here for a long time. So he
So I
knows.
figured out. Hold on real quick. I figured out how to do it. So I just took the actual audio file and I pulled it into my Google Chrome, so I could just do it from that. Some reason Apple don't want nobody sharing nothing from Apple. Apple like, leave me alone. Don't bother me.
Yeah, I'm on
Like,
everything too, bro. I know. I'm
it's
on.
funny. It is. I remember the first time I got an iPhone and I was like, "Where's the SD card slot?" And they were like, "Shorty, no. Get that out of here. We don't do that."
No, we don't. No, ain't no SD nothing.
Brother, I was trying. I was like, share audio. It didn't even give me the option.
Yeah.
Apple rejected it. Send me a letter. It was like, no. I was like, okay, never mind. I'm gonna try.
Oh yeah, Apple's serious, bro. They don't play about their coin, bro.
Yeah, not one bit. They thinking that we trying to leak like the new like
Let's
the new Tupac album or something. I don't know. I don't know, yo. I just
make it
but
happen. You gonna
but
play?
if you wanted to play it right now, I could do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that audio so they can hear. So what you're about to hear is the manager calling me and my wife back and defending his employee.
Yeah. All right. So I got the first one pinged up, and let me know when you can hear. Oh, let me make sure I'm actually on. It's actually on screen. Can you see it, brother?
Yep, I see it.
All right, cool. I'm about to play it right now. Let me know if you can hear it.
Big misunderstanding.
I hear it.
That just somehow kind of escalated out of control. Because that's what I kind of gathered. It looked like a little bit of aggressive body language on both ends that caused it all. But then I think when Wade said he was going to call the cops, that was more so just a measure that we have implemented since COVID hit. And it's because we've had a lot of people come in and just kind of get unruly real quick. So he didn't mean to call. He wasn't going to call the cops just because.
Implying I came in and got unruly.
Hi, Tommy. This is Jarrell Williams. I'm actually listening on the call as well. If you look at the camera footage, I didn't move. I didn't make any faces at him. I actually had a mask on, so you couldn't see my face.
No,
I didn't.
And all that can even be is just a shift in posture or anything.
A shift in posture.
And somebody else as well.
So if someone makes a shift in their posture, that's cause for calling the police?
No, right. How it sounded like from both ends, it sounded like it was already an aggressive manner of tone on both ends. And
I can assure you, Tommy, let me stop you there. I can assure you, I had no reason to be aggressive. I was simply stating why I had an issue with how he was questioning me over the phone. Is it policy for an employee to question a customer as to why their situation is becoming urgent now?
No, but it's also not against policy.
Oh, so that's not against. That's unprofessional. Don't you think that's a little unprofessional?
Wade was also waiting for me because I'm the only one who has the actual combination for the lost and found system. So Wade wasn't able to get into it until I had finally gotten up and was able to respond back to him. And so also the other thing is too with the frequency of calls. He felt like he was being rushed and everything.
Oh no, we only called twice, and we called an hour apart from one another.
But what I'm saying,
it wasn't a multiple calls. It was 2 calls.
That was it, and that's the thing. Like,
but even then, also when we say that we're going to give you a call back as soon as we can, with us being the only ones here, it does tend to get pretty daunting having multiple calls for all that kind of stuff, especially in a position like where he was at, where he couldn't actually go back there himself and go and look right away.
Tommy, it sounds it sounds to me that you are defending Wade and his unprofessional attitude. I explained to Wade that we had an urgent matter and we needed the keys, which is the reason why we called an hour after the first call. And I'm not sure how staffing works at your hotel. We weren't aware that he was the only one on staff. The only thing that we were aware of is that we had a personal family emergency and we needed to get access to the keys.
Unfortunately, he didn't have the ability to get access at that moment because, like I said, he was still.
Okay. So, the second recording is going to follow up, but I got a phone call in the middle and it stopped recording.
Before I carry on, the thing I found so irritating, because I was listening to this earlier, right?
Yeah.
The thing I found so irritating was, well, he's the only one there. Well, it's not like y'all sent us an email to know this before we came into this establishment. Second, it's even if there's a change in posture, brother, I don't know about you. I've worked retail before. Standing in place a long period of time is exhausting.
Who stands in place for that long? And the only thing that I did was kind of put my hand on a railing behind me. That's all I did. I didn't go toward him. I didn't make any sudden moves. I literally did this to kind of lean on the railing. That's all I did, bro. So I don't know how that becomes a threatening move. Maya said, here is the thing. Racism always gets defensive when exposed. Yes. It's funny too, because this is you're the manager of this establishment. And you called me to tell me that I was being aggressive, and you said your employee was being aggressive. So if we both were being aggressive in your eyes, who takes the responsibility for the aggression? The customer or the employee? You tell me.
I'm gonna tell you something. look here. My social media handle is Mr. Lee with Love. You know what I'm saying? The world is watching. Not more
Yes.
importantly, God is watching.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give all my thoughts after we play clip 2. If you don't, if you're okay with me playing clip 2, my brother.
Please play it because it continues the conversation. So please play it.
I got you.
Okay.
Let me pull it up and hit play for you.
As it's being
that he was
played,
waiting on you.
You guys
So,
have to understand. Like, I was
Also not
so
something that he needs to
at this
disclose right
point.
away
I
or
was
anything
like,
to you guys.
not at
no,
all.
this is
We'll
so
give you a call back.
racist that it's unbelievable.
That's
It was like
where There's
unbelievable.
something pressing that is going on that he needs to try.
What'd you say, brother? I heard you talking a little bit.
I was just saying it was unbelievably racist. And wait until you hear the end of this call. This guy is denying how racist this is because, of course, he's standing with his racist employee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I'll give my thoughts after we I'll just play. Whew.
That he was waiting on you. So,
That's also not something that he needs to disclose right away or anything to you guys.
Not at all.
He says he will give you a call.
My sister Maya says your internet's getting a little choppy again for some odd reason.
Dang.
It's all right. We'll whatever we gotta do to get that fixed, and we'll just play the audio and full screen it while we figure out what that is. But what's going on? All right.
Call back. That's where there is something pressing that is going on that he needs to try and get done first before he can actually go and do it.
Okay. So it's policy. Now, let me just hear you say this again. It's policy for your employees to call police when someone has a complaint. Is that correct?
Nope, not about a complaint.
Okay. So
if they do feel like they have, or if they do feel like it is a threatening situation, they're by all means more within their right to call the police. The police are mainly just used as having a third party, so that way nothing escalates. And that's how we train all of our employees to help keep.
Wait, can I as a customer? Yeah. I just want to let you know that the situation did not escalate. Actually, Wade is the one who escalated. He was the one that yelled. I kept a normal tone, and I was trying to explain to him why I had issue with him questioning my matter. Now, it sounds to me that you want to defend his position. And at this point, because you don't have any resolve for the issue, you're actually defending his unprofessional actions. I will be seeking other ways to get this rectified because you don't have any solutions right now.
Actually, what I was trying to defend is the fact that when you stated this complaint to corporate, you actually brought it to a point where it was all deemed about race, not anything else.
Oh, it was about race.
It was barely about the root, but no, this had nothing to do with race.
It was definitely about race. He if I was a white man and had a complaint, he wouldn't have threatened to call the police on me. Believe it. I didn't make any moves. I didn't yell. I didn't do anything aggressive. I was unarmed. I walked in. I was about 6 or 7 feet away from him. He had no reason to feel like he was in danger to call the police. Now, like I said, you don't have any resolve. I will continue. I'll continue pursuing this issue in every other avenue that I can, because obviously there's an issue with your training. There's an issue with your employees, and if you want to stand behind that, I will definitely continue marching toward getting some reconciliation and getting some justice in this matter.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
The way I see it, the situation just snowballed out of control. This has nothing to do about race.
It has everything. It has everything to do with race.
You can believe that, by all means.
Because it's the truth. It's the truth. That is the truth. Tommy, if I was a white man, and I had a complaint at your hotel, would Wade have called the police?
If the situation was the same, it still would have happened the same way.
If he operates that way, you guys can't successfully operate a business. If he operates in the way of saying,
You better
hey,
say that, sir.
I don't like how you're speaking to me, so I'm going to call the police. I didn't yell at him. I didn't call him out of his name. I didn't swear. I was using plain English. I was speaking to him just like I'm speaking to you. If that is threatening, you guys need to reevaluate your training and need to go through some ethnicity training, because this, in fact, is a race issue. It is.
I'm sorry you believe that way, but unfortunately, that's not why he was saying he was.
Okay. Well, we'll let our attorneys and the courts decide if this is a civil rights issue or not.
Yo,
have a great day.
Okay.
Yo. So the church I go to, there's a lot of people that are involved with.
First off, your audio and your videos acting kind of wonky again.
Dang.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and come back.
You do that, and I'll see if I can so y'all can hear me. It looks like everything's moving fine on my end. But yeah, y'all, I'm this is only like the second time I've heard these recordings. He sent them to me yesterday. And when I tell y'all that I was shaking, I'm like, what in the hell is like? It seemed like a parody when you hear stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I am good, Maya. Thank you. It seemed like a parody, like it just did not exist. I was like, I didn't hear that. Like, this is like the director's cut of life or something. I don't know what was going on. And I just which is why I feel it's important that he come on here today. He looks clean on his end. Oh, he's still freezing up a little bit.
Dang, bro. Can you hear
me? T-Pain version, sure. But but I'll let my brother and my sister let me know.
Okay, Maya said I'm good.
She said you're good.
Am I good? Am I good, Maya?
Hopefully. She does that. I think that was for me, maybe, because that was from earlier. Yep. That might be.
Okay.
I don't know what, brother. They don't want you to get your word out. I don't know what it is, because they said I sounded. I don't. Can you join with your phone real quick by chance?
Yeah, let me try that, bro. Yeah, let's do it. My phone.
Yeah, you do that, man. We got you. You tried because I sent it to you on Instagram. You gonna get heard today, okay?
That's right. That's right. Hold on.
I got you. Oh man, I'm getting mad all over. Maya said I'm getting secondhand hot. Yeah, girl. Whew. You said he's still. Good Casper. I mean, I don't know, bro, because it's one thing, and Tyler, you know this. It's one thing like when stuff like this happens, but then when you have like, even though I've just only known this man, we're getting to know each other through this podcast. So I think now hearing it and now having a relationship, the tiniest bit of a grain of salt of a relationship with this man, it's got me like, it's like. It's one thing with, I guess, like for me, it's one thing with my PTSD to have no connection with people that look like us that go through stuff like this. But then when it's somebody you know, it's a really, it's a I don't know how to describe it. It's a real tense. Like I'm shaking right now, and my chair ain't even a massage chair. You look good on that end. You look good. You that look perfect. I don't know what's going on with your computer, but you look perfect right now.
And it's crazy. I got the newest iMac too. I don't understand. I don't get it, bro.
It's the ghost of Steve Jobs. He's like, y'all thought y'all was gonna have a good rest of the year. Go ahead. Right. But what I was saying before you hop back in, was, you know, I listened to you sent me these recordings yesterday. You know, it's one thing to like expose yourself to stuff like this, but And then you already are, for me, I was already like kind of irritated, but you know, just from the hour and some change getting to know you, sir, on the screen and then hearing them, it just, I'm like, I'm over here like shaking in my chair. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this? First off, sir,
Man.
First off, sir, I commend you. Because, and it's not to say I wouldn't have done anything differently, because brother, I am an activist in my state. There are counties in my state in which I have led protests in, and it's a known fact that the KKK are in these areas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the amount of almost militant level discipline that us as a people have to put ourselves in, because the stuff we know that we face, it can't be described in words.
Absolutely, bro.
It's and I think it's even harder. I made a video about it, about getting mad and like having to remember in that order. I'm a Christian first and a black man second, because the minute I feel like I need to defend my skin before my faith, that's when it gets dicey. But
definitely. And there's a real delicate balance there. It really is. And if you don't understand who you are or whose you are first, then you can lose yourself in a situation and become a statistic. And I knew in that moment that if I didn't make some correct movements, if I wasn't being led, then anything could have popped off. Anything could have happened. Like I said, I'm from Minneapolis. I grew up on the block that George Floyd was killed on, bro. Like, I've experienced police brutality. I've been on the wrong end of the law without anything that I've done. Like, I literally was investigated for a crime that I did not commit by the FBI. Like, I was put into a holding cell for 8 hours without any water, without any bathroom breaks, without anything, and questioned for hours by the FBI. I mean, like, and I was only 19 years old. Not only did they question me, bro, but they were physically beating me. They were trying to get me to confess to a crime that I did not commit, only because I fit the description. How many of us have fit the description and never made it out of those rooms? And it was only by the grace of God that allowed me to, bro, I prayed. I literally prayed.
You probably, the funny thing is, I think
bro.
I think the thing is, like, us in our blackness, but having a attachment to faith, I feel like we almost have to be, when I say, like, you can't, like I said earlier, you can't clock out of being a Christian. It's not a job, it's a life, essentially. Okay. It's like, it's almost encounter to encounter, moment to moment. We have to remember that as a people. And I think it's exhausting. I mean, for me personally, it's exhausting. I don't know about you, sir, but
it is. It's very exhausting. It's very daunting. But I wouldn't change who I am, right, or my identity for anything. I know it's exhausting. I know it's daunting. But I also believe that God won't ever place anything on us that we cannot bear, that we can't rise to the occasion, that we can't get, that He can't get the glory out of. So, you know, I when I was this happened to me when I was 19 about the FBI situation. I only knew to pray. I only knew to just pray internally. And as a result of that situation, man, I lost my job. I lost my scholarship. I lost a lot of things. And I wasn't guilty, bro. I wasn't, you know, like, so, it really taught me, that at any moment, if they want you bad enough, they can come get you. And the life that you know can be taken just that quickly. And so yeah, man, it was an eye opener. It was a horrible experience. like you said, we as Black men, we face trauma, we face so many different things that a lot of people don't face and don't understand and don't get, because they think, oh, just comply, just do what they said. Oh, but it's not that, because I complied. I've done what they said. I've still got beaten down. I've still, you know what I'm saying? So it's not all it's cracked up to be when you see something online or you see something in a video. No, people are actually really living these things. This is actually real life for people. So going back to the incident at the hotel, bro, the manager obviously had no compassion. He obviously did not want to hear my story. He didn't want to hear it. He only wanted to call and tell me what my experience was of his employee. He's telling me what my experience was, because ingrained in his head, since he was a kid, ingrained in him is that he has some type of superiority over me as a Black man. All racist people feel like they have something over you and something that they have to prove. And so when you address them and they want to come with excuse, they want to come with superiority, they want to come with all these preconceived notions. And this guy thought he knew who I was. Unfortunately, he didn't know me. He didn't know who I was or who I knew. I'm connected with the mayor of Minneapolis. Like, I know the mayor. I know a lot of different people. I know attorneys. I know really great people who are in high position. And so all these people that I knew start flooding the hotel with complaints. All of them.
Oh boy.
And we're not just talking about regular everyday people. We're talking about people who are educated, who know the law, lawyers, doctors, business owners. They're all like, listen, you mess with the wrong one. If we don't have any resolve with this issue, we're going to bring it further. And so I actually, so after I recorded this, a few days later, Mayor Jacob Fry actually came to our church and met with us about getting ready for the Derek Chauvin case, the guy that killed George Floyd. So we're talking about what we're going to do as a city, how we're going to prepare for this case, how we're going to be there for people spiritually and mentally and physically. And guess what comes up? My ordeal at the hotel. So his people said, hey, we're going to call them on Monday. Guess what they did? They called him on Monday. And lo and behold, I got a call from the vice president of the Hyatt Hotel the very next day. He calls me very apologetic, very, very sincere in his apology. He said he listened to the phone call. He heard my Facebook post. He heard the call. He apologized and he asked me if he could use my experience to train not only the employees that did me wrong, but all the employees in the United States around, all the Hyatts around the United States.
Wow.
So now we go from this manager calling me, sticking up for this employee, to now the vice president of the Hyatt calling me saying, we're sorry, this should not have happened to you. You didn't deserve this. And you know how that happened? It happened not because of how great I am, but because how great God is. And I knew that God would fight this battle for me. So that's why I didn't even try to fight it on my own. I took what he had to say, and I smiled. I laughed because I know who I belong to. When you know who you belong to, you don't have to fight. When you know that God is for you, who can stand against you? Who can come? What kind of racism can come against you? What kind of hatred can come against you when you are standing with the lover and the creator of your soul? Who? Nobody. So yeah, man.
What I heard in my spirit about that is you may not even had to cut his ear off, but the fact that you were in a posture in your spirit to reattach it You know, that is a witness in itself. Like, they're
Amen,
coming to
bro.
kill you. You know what I'm saying? And you
Amen.
may even and some of us, I think, in our persecution, we develop this cavalier mindset in which we think, or as I touched on one of my podcasts 2 weeks ago, I says we know Jesus is king, but we don't know Jesus as the suffering servant. Even in captivity and in the course of his getting arrested, he still told Peter, "No, Peter, that wasn't right," and put my man's ear back on.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, that's
I didn't mean
crazy.
to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's crazy. I mean, like, it's just like, I think even though that was a small instance that led to the crucifixion, I think that one that moment is not talked about enough, personally.
Wow. I agree. I mean, even wow. I mean, what you said really sheds light on a lot of this. Jesus knew what had to be done. He knew that it was his time. But what he also did was showed love in spite of the hate that was shown to him. He shown the love that we can't comprehend, that we can't understand. And you know, in my trial with the Hyatt, when I talked to the VP, I said, listen, I don't want them fired. I don't want them to be scolded. I want them to be trained. I want them to be better. Because what will it teach them? What if they get fired, they're not going to learn anything from that. They're not going to grow from that. But if they're fed knowledge with truth and understanding and wisdom and compassion and how to treat people, then they could be better. And then that could create a new culture. That could create a new environment for all of us. And so I don't have a point to prove. I just have a God to serve.
Right. And I think what it also is is you recognize that wasn't the end for you either. You know what I mean? It's the, and I'm gonna get into the blackness too, but we've always, as a people, historically, where we've been fed the pigs and made bacon. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like,
Right.
it's we've had to make good out of bad. And I think, and tying it back to our faith, though you went through the mud, you still have you still got to a feast at the end of the day. You were still able to break bread with your wife, and even now stepping into spaces in which you can prevent this from happening to people that look like us further on, and then just teaching people, getting people to a place, if you know better, then you can grow better. And I think that's important. So, I mean, that's powerful. That's absolutely powerful, for sure.
Amen, bro. Like, it really is. And because of this situation, I've been asked to share my story with a few different ministries already because of this ordeal. And I gotta say that God will bring us places, and our character has to show up. We have to show up fully. And if we don't, then we could not only could we miss God, but we could miss the witness that is attached to our life. So I really feel like this was an opportunity, not only for God to get the glory, but for me to be able to witness and for me to be able to share my experience and who I am and how I've come to this resolve in my life as a Black man.
And I think it's also, like, what's kind of crazy is the willingness to even do that, because you could be like, how come I have to teach y'all how to be better people? You know what I'm saying? You could just be like, no, I ain't dealing with this. This is not my job. But you recognize that it took, as we were talking about the flood earlier, it took a rainy day for the rainbow to come. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I think it's powerful. It lets you know that his hand was on you. He might, I mean, for all you know, he might have been the one that might have, because just like how I got this shaking sensation, he probably put his hand on your shoulder, was like, son, calm down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas it's like, let me take this
man.
vibrations out of you real quick. Son, calm
Straight up.
down.
Straight
Yeah, because
yeah,
I think,
and I know it was him, bro. Like, let's just be real, bro. You don't know my full testimony, man, but I was a hothead. Like, I would be the one that would
retweet.
go to the club. Bro, I would go to the club and look for fights. I would literally go to the club to kick it. I would go to the club to see who could I knock out. Like, I used to love like the thrill of knocking people out, bro. Like, so you can't tell me God didn't completely transform how I think, how I react, how I respond. Like, I know I have the physical strength to knock someone out with one punch.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that prove, right? What can I solve there? How could that make me a better person or a better man? And so it really was him, bro. It really was his hand on me saying, this is my battle to fight, not yours. This is where I come in, not you. Because when I put my hands on things, guess what, bro? They get destroyed. But when I move my hands away and I allow God to put his hands on things, life happens. I'd rather see life happen than destruction, bro.
Mm-hmm. Especially right now. I think that, and it kind of gets into one thing that you didn't say, but it kind of alluded to it. We have to allow people to mess up and not make them feel like they are completely irredeemable, because you could have, I'm pretty sure, brother, I mean, the way that people riding for you right now, you could have been like, yeah, nah, they're fired. I want them fired, like now. Not now, but right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you, but we serve a God that does not believe in cancel culture. Matter of fact, he picks the people. Matter of fact, he selects the people that have been canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And guess what? I was one of those people. I was one of those people that were canceled. So who am I? Who am I to say let's cancel him? What? No, God didn't have to save me from where I was. I'm no better than the people that were hating on me.
Facts.
So yeah, man, bro, cancel culture. God doesn't subscribe to that.
Nah, it's because it's the that spirit. I'm gonna call it a spirit. It ain't of God. That type of spirit drove Judas to kill himself.
Exactly, bro.
We want people to recognize the conviction, not the condemnation of their decisions, because then they could be redeemed like a Peter. But unfortunately, Judas, I mean, I don't know, and I don't want that for people. I mean, like, bro. It's like, what do we win by provoking people into get on a tree and hang themselves?
Nothing. Who wins out of that situation? Not them, not their loved ones. We don't win. And so it's one thing that I just thank God for is that I never looked at these gentlemen any different than I look at any other image bearer. I just knew they were you're just wrong right now. But guess what? We can make you right. We can make you right. You're wrong right now, but we all have our instances where we're wrong. And I would hate to judge someone's entire life based on some bad moments that they had, based on a bad situation that they're going through. And so who am I to put someone in a box? I don't know them. All I knew was my experience at that time. So it's to God who redeems.
Right. And I think it's it reminds me of this word that Michael Todd spoke. I think it's failure isn't a man, it's a moment.
Amen.
And we can't, if we did not believe that, then we could not serve the God that we serve.
Amen, bro.
Because then it also says then it also says that the blood wasn't potent. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't do the work with us. Then if it didn't work for, you know what I'm saying? Like if it didn't work for them, it's that's why my I don't know if you see it in the top left corner on my screen. That's why like my imprint is called Tetelestai. It's the last words that Jesus spoke on the cross. You know, it is finished. It is finished. I point people to the cross not in a way to tell them you're effed up for not having Jesus in your life. I'm letting them know that you effed up, but Jesus gave you life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And bro, I resonate so hard with that, bro. That's where it's funny, man, because that's where I teach from, you know, as a youth pastor. I teach from we're all in a broken state, all of us. And we all need a savior. No matter how important we are, no matter how much money we make, or no matter how many mistakes we've made, we all still need that same Jesus, that same savior. And none of us are exempt from needing him. And so it's our job as believers to do our best to point toward him. Because if we don't, then the people that we touch, or the people that come into contact with us, are going to be lost. And that blood will be on our hands, bro, because we know better.
Because then we're not ambassadors, we're gatekeepers.
Exactly. Say that one more time.
We are not. When we steer people away from the love of God because of life decisions, we're not ambassadors, we're gatekeepers.
Whew. Man. Bro. And not only that, we're not even qualified.
You better say that.
We're not even qualified to keep the gate, bro. We're not qualified at all, bro. So that's why I always check myself, like, who am I to deny someone of the love and the grace that I was a beneficiary of? Who am I to stand in the way? So yeah, bro, I don't qualify as a gatekeeper. I just want to be someone.
I don't want that responsibility, to be honest.
Bro, I just want to hold the sign. You know how the people who hold the signs on the side of the road when pointing. Yeah, I just want to be one of them. Just want to be a sign, bro. Listen, I'm good. I'll be a reflector of anything, bro. I just I don't want to get. I can't qualify as a gatekeeper. Not at all.
It's like I said, I could go and give Black Panther theology all day, but that was one of the one things that they were doing wrong in their practices before Nikita reformed their way of living. She said, why aren't we taking our resources out into the world when we are the utopia? And they said, because we don't want the outsiders coming in.
Wow.
Then how can we say that we're really helpful people if we only keep it amongst us?
Ourselves, right. Right.
And yeah.
On,
yeah,
man.
Brother. I'll have to send you look, man, I go to school for theology. I wrote a whole Bible study on Black Panther. Like I need to see that. Like, I got you. But some people were looking at me like, how did you get? I'm like, bro, don't play with me. Just
bro, I need to see that, man. Seriously.
I got you.
That's dope. That's dope. I love to share that with my students. I love the references that you're adding in there. And I can't wait to read into it, bro. Because I love Black Panther. Favorite films, bro.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Matter of fact, I still won't. I really can't. It's like burning in my brain. Matter of fact, I was coming back from the March on Washington in D.C. I was driving back, and as I'm pulling into my house, as I'm dropping somebody off before I go to my house, I realized Chadwick Boseman died on the day Martin Luther King gave the "I Have a Dream" speech 65 years ago, and it had me shook. I was like,
"Yeah, man."
I was like, you took Nipsey, okay."
Yeah, right.
You took Kobe.
Yeah, bro. I mean, one after the other, right? Our leaders just leaving, and man, life is so. It's so. it's so delicate, bro. It's really a delicate thing, man. And so everything that we do, every decision we make, it matters. It's crazy because when you're younger, you don't feel like it amounts to anything. Like you feel like you can just kind of waste your time and try to find your way and fall a few times. And it's like, no, what you're doing right now, it actually matters. Because you don't know if you're going to get the next hour or the next minute or the next second. It's not guaranteed.
Not one bit.
So, yeah, that's another thing I talk to my kids about. Like, this life is really just a paper, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we are here for a moment and then we're gone. So what we do now, it matters for the rest of eternity. So, this podcast that you're doing, bro, this matters. This matters. Your theology major, it matters. All the things that you're doing as a young man, bro, like you are planting seeds that are going to take root and they're gonna blossom, and just watch God just manifest in your life, bro. I can see it on you, bro. You have a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, and a lot of God is shining His light on you so heavy, bro. So, bro, I would just encourage you to remain encouraged, because the enemy is going to try to take that light away, because you shine bright, bro.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna try not to cry on the internet. I've been crying a lot for the last couple of days, but
Hey, man, if the spirit moves you, brother, the spirit moves you, man.
that's true.
But yeah, I can totally see the mantle on you, and I hear it in your testimony. I hear it in your actions. You are authentic. You are sincere, and man, we need more soldiers on the field like you, brother.
I appreciate that, brother. It's I tell people, I am still manifesting I'm progressing and manifesting from the seeds that people have sowed into me through the years. That's all. I can't take the credit for it. The only thing I can say is just keep moving. And
Amen.
Let the sun shine where the rain fell at one point, and I'll just keep growing in Him. So
yeah,
now my brothers in my comment section saying, "Take your flowers, black man." Shut up.
Yes, sir.
I'm terrible at it. I'm trying. But
yeah, man.
I'm trying.
Though, man. I love your heart, bro. When you I like had half of it to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. But the way you asked me, bro, I was like, nah, man, I gotta come in and listen to my brother, man. He has concern over my story, and he's given me a platform to speak my truth, and so I had to honor that, man. So thank you so much, man, for just allowing me to come in and speak and tell my story and play my recordings and all that, man. I appreciate that, bro.
No problem, brother. Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up soon. I guess like one thing that because now you're on my divinity, you're on my community group's radar now. So they're gonna, of course, ask this themselves, and they're probably all gonna follow you, which is all beneficial. And I told some of them that you own a coffee shop, so I have some coffee enthusiasts within my community group. That's gonna be. It. But so what? If you do got anything in the works, what are we to expect next of you? What are we to see next coming from you, man?
Yeah, thank you for recognizing that we do have a coffee shop. My wife and I, actually after the unrest, bro, we wanted to be more, I guess, purposeful about where we spent our dollars, and we wanted to make sure that our dollars were cycling in the community. Because when you have dollars, you can assert a little bit of power. There's a lot of things that you can do with those dollars to be purposeful and to also sow into others. And we also wanted to start something to leave a legacy for our kids. So we found the opportunity to start a Black-owned coffee shop. We're an online coffee shop called Stay Woke Java, and we, our motto is really to start conversations about what being woke is, about what it means, and how we can continue to wake one another up, because there's so many people in a zombie-like state who aren't woke with the truth. And so the entendre is, coffee has caffeine and it keeps you woke. And so we wanted to have a something that represents wokeness, and also something that you could put that could give you sustenance. So we have mugs, we have T-shirts, we have accessories at staywokejava.com, and we have lots of different vendors from around the world. We only serve gourmet coffee.
I know that's right. Go ahead with your bad self.
We're Black owned, but we believe in Black excellence.
You better talk.
We seriously, bro, we do all we can to make sure that things are delivered on time, to make sure that we're responsive to all of our customers' questions, concerns, comments, and we want to be better. We want to get better as a business. Our kids help us. We have 3 kids. My son is in college. He's a college student. Our 2 youngest are in middle and high school. They actually help us with the business, and they help decide on merch, and we make it a family affair, and we love doing it, and it's just been a great venture for our family. We just got orders in for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They want some of our mugs.
Okay.
They want actually about 125 mugs.
Question, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. Y'all getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns? What's up? What's going on over there?
Oh, so I think there was some talk about that, bro. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we are. We probably should.
He stayed. I don't know. He just too foul trouble. He's afraid of the paint. I can't.
And he's not really consistent either. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
see what happens, bro. I feel like all Minnesota teams are cursed though. Like the Timberwolves are just. It's horrible. And then the Vikings.
Probably KG was the last.
KG was the last and best thing. And when KG was drafted, when KG was drafted,
Derrick Rose, 51-point night. That was y'all.
Oh yeah, that was
it. That was the last time. That
we ever had some greatness. It's sad, bro. Why you want to make me cry? Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to make me cry?
Oh, brother, brother, I'm a Knicks fan. I suffer from depression.
We're here.
Yeah, we in the mud together. We just got different uniforms on.
Oh my goodness, man, it's ridiculous, bro. But yeah, I actually met KG right when he got drafted as a rookie from out of high school. I was in this program for the Y, and I was up at the Target Center doing something, and he walks in the gym, and he almost looks unreal because his arms, bro, are so long. They're like, it was just weird. Like his arms were by his knees.
He was shaped like a PlayStation character.
Yeah, bro. I was like, yo, why's his arms? No, but real talk, man. He was real cool, bro. Real cool dude. But yeah, man. We really are happy to be in business at Stay Woke Java. The Timberwolves are supporting us. The state of Minnesota tries its best to get behind Black-owned businesses, and we are one of the newer ones. And so we're getting a little bit of exposure in Minnesota. We would love to have more exposure outside of the state. And more conversation being had about, being woke, what wokeness really is. We also, I'm actually working on a project, my third album, called One, O-N-E. And it is supposed to be about God, about oneness with God. And so the whole concept of the album is to have 7 tracks. There we go, that number 7 again. But all the tracks are going to actually be one. So it's 7 different songs, but it's one full song, and it's about God. So I'm working on that right now, and it's been a blessing to do that. And in between, I'll be dropping singles. I got another single about to drop at the end of this month, actually, produced by Unbeat Music. He's the one that does all the.
I wanted to bring that up tonight, but with all the craziness, you heard about what happened to your boy OB this weekend?
Yes, bro. Like, I talked to him about it too, bro. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, bro. So me and him both were feeling it. Like, it almost happened at the same time. So yeah, man. Are you a Mexican blankety blank? Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. That was not cool.
Yeah, I used to have OB. I used to have OB on my Facebook, but I had to shut my Facebook down, protect my mental health. People were tripping out here. With the work I do, you know, I'm bold on my stances, and that also means I'm gonna be bold in my rebuttals on defending my stances, and I gotta protect my mental health and my safety and everything. So yeah,
thank you for saying
but
that.
I used to have OB on Facebook. I used to have him on Facebook, but
that's what's up, bro. Yeah, as Black men, we do need to protect our mental state. We have to pray. We have to meditate. We have to get therapy. We have to speak to people. We have to not hide from our feelings and our emotions, and fully embrace those things, and not be afraid to express ourselves in a healthy way. You know, one thing that society teaches us, especially Black men, is that we shouldn't show any other emotion but anger. And that's a lie. We should be able to show all of our emotions because we're human. We should be able to show when we're sad, when we're happy, when we have joy, when we're in love. We should be able to show all these things and be okay.
That's actually that's what my podcast is focused on tomorrow. It's I call it Black Minds Matter. It's focusing on the importance of mental health awareness in the Black community, because I think people, even though we're called to be strong all the time, we need to be let known it's okay to be strong in your weakness as well.
Amen.
So
amen.
That's what I'm focusing on tomorrow. I got one of my brothers in the faith. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's gonna be on here tomorrow. He's actually going to school for counseling and everything, because the stigma, and he wants to undermine the stigma in our community, and he got called into it. Moved to Florida last year. He said if everything goes well, he's gonna be on here tomorrow.
Awesome, bro.
And we're gonna get into it.
Send me the link. I want to just watch. I want to be in the audience, bro.
I got you, brother.
I think it's vital, man. It's vital. We gotta talk. We have to express ourselves. We have to learn what manhood really is, because the facade of manhood has been taught to us for so long. We don't know how to operate and function as men. So,
and I think as Christian Black men, not being in tune with your emotions is not being in tune to not only Christ, because he died for you to have those emotions, but man, it's not fully appreciating the gift of Christ dying for us to have those emotions.
Amen.
So I think that's important. And that's just, I'm hitting every area my arms can reach, and if anybody can extend them, I'm trying to.
Man.
So.
Oh, I see you. Your gift is gonna make room for you, bro. Believe it. Seriously. So yeah, man. I gotta check your music out too. I'm gonna do that when we leave. I'm gonna check your music out as well. Maybe we can get up on that too.
Maybe, man. I gotta it's funny because I thought of only my identity as a rapper and as a musician, but God showed me, hey, look, let me show you what I could do with you when I plug you over here. Plug you over here. Yeah. And I'm still like, this is all. I'm so used to when having this out, like I'm so used to having a beat behind it. So
I feel you, bro. Trust me, I know what you mean, bro. When you have a mic, it's like, it's funny when I'm called to like preach for the church. I'll hold the mic and I hold it a certain way. Like I'm about to.
Yeah, you cup it.
Like, yo, what are you doing? I'm like, oh.
Gotta put my shoulders.
I gotta fall back a little bit, but I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
sure.
let's definitely get up on that tip as well, man. I wanna build with you there too.
All right, brother, I got you. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight to the saints and ain'ts and the arrows and the weirdos. Thank you everybody for being patient tonight. Like I said, the devil tried to stop this from getting out. I'll open up a new stream if I had to, which I did. My brother jumped right back in, so he did. I don't think any fruit was lost, and if so, then you know what? I'm pretty sure, and I'll tell you this on camera and off camera, you are welcome back here anytime. Like,
man, I appreciate that, bro.
Got you, brother. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna see everybody tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just come as, when I say relax, come, you know what? Come as stressed out as you are. Come as relaxed as I'm serious. Come as stressed out as you are. I want you to come uncomfortable so we can teach people that look like me and people that don't look like me how to be comfortable and be content in uncomfortability. So
Amen,
I love y'all. I love y'all. There's nothing that y'all could do about it. Always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved, and have a good night now.
Peace, bro.